Hi guys, this is Saurav and you're watching my YouTube channel Metsala. So guys, today our topic is the pons. So if you haven't watched the medulla and the spinal cord, so go and watch that video first because that is actually important to understand pons. So what is pons? So pons is a part of brainstem. What is brainstem? Brainstem is made up by pons, medulla, and midbrain that connect the spinal cord to the rest part of the brain. So in this lecture, we will see the pons. So pons is a small topic, yet it is important. So we will see the pons at two level. The first level is lower part, and the second is the upper part. This is a part near the medulla, and this is a part near the midbrain. So before starting, just look at the external feature. So guys, pons doesn't have much external feature, but we have the cranial nerves that originate from the pons, that is from 5th to 8th cranial nerve. So guys, from 9th to 12th we have in the medulla, from 5th to 8th in the pons, and 3rd and 4th it originates from the midbrain. So this is important. So guys, let's start the pons. So now we're gonna see the internal structure of the pons. Guys, this is the lower section of the pons near the medulla. So actually whole pons is divided into two part. This part is called as the basilar part, and the rest of this part is called as the tegmental part. So this basilar part is almost constant in the upper pons as well as the lower pons. So we will see it only in the one cross section. So this basilar part contains the lots of pontine nucleus. Okay, and this basilar part will be containing the corticospinal tract, corticonuclear tract, and corticopontine tract. So guys, note that the functions of these tract, actually the functions of whole brainstem will be more clear when you see the rest of the part of the brain, because brainstem just contain the structure in the pathway. So just think like that. Suppose this is a pathway, we are looking at only this point. So this is important to understand the whole pathway, but this point can't teach you the whole path. Actually, these corticopontine fibers gives another transverse fiber that is called the pontocerebellar fiber that will go to the cerebellum. So these things will be more clear in the cerebellum. When you read cerebellum, these things will be more clear. So as you can see here, the basilar part contains the longitudinal bundle of the corticonuclear and corticospinal fibers. This is a pontine nuclei. Okay, so here it's showing that this is your transverse pontocerebellar fibers. Actually, what happens through the corticopontine fibers, the fibers from the cortex will bring the information to the pons, and from pons the fibers called as the pontocerebellar fibers, this will take the information to the cerebellum. This is the main function here. That's all for the basilar part. It will be constant in the upper as well as the lower pons. Before going into the tegmental part, just note that 5th to 8th cranial nerve originates from the pons. So we will see all those cranial nerve nuclei. So the 7th cranial nerve, that is the facial nerve. This is the motor nucleus for the facial nerve. We have three more nucleus medial to the main motor nucleus of the facial nerve, that is the superior salivatory and the inferior salivatory as well as the lacrimatory nucleus. So superior salivatory and the lacrimatory nucleus is the parasympathetic part of the facial nerve. Now we'll see the cranial nerve number 6, that is the abducent nerve. So you will have the nucleus for the abducent nerve here. You can see the abducent nerve is going anteriorly. Now the next important thing to note that the fibers of the facial nerve is winding around the nucleus of the abduction nerve. This forms an elevation, and this elevation is called as the facial colliculus. This elevation can be seen externally in the pons. Okay, the eighth cranial nerve. See, here we are seeing the sixth, seventh, and the eighth cranial nerve is the vestibulocochlear nerve. So guys, this is the ventral and this is the dorsal cochlear nuclei, and here we will have the group of the vestibular nuclei. These together will form the vestibulocochlear nerve. Now you will say that one nerve left, that is the fifth cranial nerve. So that you will see in the upper section of the pons. So as always, you will see here in the whole brainstem that the spinal nucleus and the tract of the trigeminal nerve. One structure that is new in the pons is the spinal lemnisci. So if you have seen my video of the spinal cord, I had explained very well that spinal lemnisci is formed by the three tract, anterior and the lateral spinothalamic tract and the spinotectal tract. These three tracts will combine together to form the spinal lemnisci. Okay, and here as you can see, this is a middle lemnisci which was formed in the medulla by the sensory decussation. Okay, so here you can see we have the medial longitudinal fibers that connect the third, fourth, fifth, and eighth cranial nerve. Okay, so this will be present along whole pons and some part of the medulla and midline also, because it connects the nuclei. It's connect the proper coordination. So here you can see the tectospinal tract, and here you can see the rubrospinal tract. So guys, if you're feeling confused like what are these tracts, so guys go and watch my spinal cord video, because spinal cord is a concepty part, but the brain stem is simply the parts containing lots of structure, so nothing much to understand in the brain stem. So as you can see, this is your trapezoid body. So what is this? This cochlear nucleus, as will go up, this cochlear nucleus will decussate. Okay, and these decussation forms the trapezoid body. Okay, so I hope you got all the concepts at the lower level of the pons. Now we're gonna see the upper level of the pons. Okay, so guys, note one thing: whole pons is related entirely to the fourth ventricle. So as I said you that I'm not gonna explain this basilar part. We will simply see the tegmentum part. Guys, as you can see, the first change that you can see here is this trapezoid body had become small, and one more lemnisci that is called as the lateral lemnisci is formed. So guys, as we'll go up, this trapezoid body that contains the decussating fibers of the cochlear nuclei will get small, and these fibers will get condensed to form the lateral lemnisci. Now all together we have the four lemnisci, that is the medial, and you can see this is the trigeminal lemnisci. So guys, as I said you that the main motor nucleus for the sensory and the motor trigeminal nerve is present in the pons itself. The nucleus of the trigeminal nerve that is present in the medulla and the lower pons, those nucleus will give the fibers, and that fibers will come in a bundle, and that bundle is called the trigeminal lemnisci. So trigeminal lemnisci plus the fibers that is originating from the main nucleus of the trigeminal nerve, and the fibers that is from the mesencephalic root of trigeminal nerve, all these things will come together and forms the trigeminal nerve in the pons. So just lateral to that we have the spinal lemnisci, and at the lateral most part we have the lateral lemnisci, spinal lemnisci, and the trigeminal lemnisci. So guys, as I said you that for trigeminal nerve, the main motor and the sensory nuclei is present in the pons. So this is your main sensory nuclei, and this is in the red, this is your main motor nuclei. And guys, you will be remembering that I said you the trigeminal nerve has the fibers all along the, or you can say the trigeminal nerve has the nucleus all along the brainstem. So fibers will be coming from that nucleus. So guys, this is your mesencephalic root of the trigeminal nerve, and this is your fourth ventricle. This is your medial longitudinal fibers, this is your tectospinal tract, and this is your rubrospinal tract. Okay, the next chain that you can see here is the superior cerebral peduncle that is present posteriorly, and this is the middle cerebral peduncle that is present anteriorly, or you can say the anterolaterally. So guys, I hope you remember that when I was telling you about the medulla, the upper part of the medulla was containing the inferior cerebellar peduncle that was also in the posterior part only. So guys, remember that. And as you can see here also, this has the, this is your inferior cerebellar peduncle present posteriorly, or more precisely you can say the posterolaterally, because it is lateral only. Okay, now what is the function of the cerebral peduncle? I had explained many times that cerebral peduncle simply connects the brainstem to the cerebellum. The inferior cerebellar peduncle will connect the medulla to the cerebellum. The middle will connect the pons to the cerebellum, and the superior will connect the midbrain to the cerebellum. So guys, that's all for the pons. We will definitely see the midbrain in the next lecture. So guys, please subscribe this channel. If you like this video, then share to everyone. Don't forget to press the bell icon, because pressing bell icon will give you the notification for the further video. So guys, Saurav signing out.